Hell yes. Let's go. We are soaked and ready to rock, ready to get you soaked. How you doing, Skin?
Hey, Ben.
What happened?
Have you ever been drunk over?
What happened to you?
It's a combination of still being inebriated when you woke up and yet hung over at the same time. It's called drunk over.
I'm going to need you to work it out of your system because I'm going to need you in the fourth quarter.
Oh, nice. See, dude, you speak to me. You knew that I would relate to Lou Williams in a way that would get me fired up. No, I'm going to be fine. I'm ready to soak everybody.
There's a lot to get into. I do want to say this. We very much enjoy doing this stream. I think it's the best thing we've ever done. Probably going to win a lot of awards for it. For whatever reason, they're delayed. But we need y'all to share the link. We've got 259 of you here right now. I'm going to give you a moment. You're not going to miss anything. Take the link, share it on your social media platforms, and tell your friends to get in here because magical shit is happening in the Ben and Skin universe.
Yeah, by the way, Ben, one real fun way to do this is to hang out over there in the comments section. And Don Gaster, who's been rocking with the show for a long time, Michael's right, who's been rocking with the show for a long time, was asking who wrote the lyrics to the song, the You're Not Ready. So really both intro songs. There's the first song is really the holding tank where they put you before they take you to your jail cell. That's what that is. And then there's the intro. The great strip mall Steve Shackelford, who we will be hearing from later in the show when we bend the news, is not only the man that writes those songs, sings those songs, he composes those songs, he writes all the lyrics. So truly a generational talent indeed.
He is amazing. He is so talented. And so just to pull the curtain back a little bit on the walk-up song, there's like a 4-minute pause while we wait for people to fill in the pubes in the content church.
Yep.
And while we're waiting for folks to arrive and we're ramping up, I was like, hey, man, would you mind making a song? And he's so good, and he cranks these songs out. And I was like, would you mind making a song for that little 4-minute time period? Because if you play a song that exists somewhere else, you don't have the rights to it. So it needs to be a custom song so we can even play music.
We played one of our own songs that we owned, a Bastards of Soul song, and got flagged. I was like, how did we get flagged? I own that effing song. Well, I don't understand.
Yeah, you actually own that song, but
collectively with other people.
Yeah. And so he made it, and it was just an instrumental. And I was like, no. I want your gold, like that, the way you write and perform magic. He goes, oh, yeah, no problem. And he sent it back to that. He sent it back with that. And it's talking about you have time to make popcorn, coffee, and it's so conversational. And then he's singing, we're counting down to a world unknown.
Which I sing all the time.
I do too.
Walking around. The other thing, too, is lyrically, there's the little melody part, and then there's the lyrics, there's the talking part, but just occasionally just being like, Dijon. And he's got such a funny strip mall voice. And the other thing that I love so much is the character is, pretty casual, he's excited. We're counting down. He's telling you some things you can do. And then towards the end, his voice pitch goes up and he starts really panicking.
So good.
Great. You don't really have a lot of time right now. It's so great.
All right. In the comment section, if you're here with us, we do this as a live stream so you can interact with us. We could just pre-record it at any time.
I wouldn't be hungover.
I mean, look how we're hurting right now. My eyes are straight up bloodshot.
What'd you do last night?
You look worse than me.
I feel terrible.
And we're still here. We're still here doing it. We didn't call in sick. We're cranking this out live right now at 10:10 a.m. And so the whole point of this doing it live is so we can interact with you in your comments. So I want to know, because I'll just put it to you like this. I want you to put in the comments the one thing you hope we talk about in this stream. We're going to go for about an hour. What is the one thing you hope we talk about? There's always a guy. I don't know if he's doing a bit. He's got to be doing a bit, but I think he's serious. And he's like, oh, too much Cowboys talk. I'm out of here.
I like that guy.
And
I agree with that guy.
I think he's serious, and it's probably a guy who wants more Stars talk, right? Like, I get it.
No, he wants the Hawk Tuah meme thing.
Okay, well, we are going to get to that, but I'm curious as to what you guys want us to talk about. Put it in the comments if there's one thing we for sure get to today. Now, I will say this as I set things up. If you're watching this live, here's what's coming your way. We are going to talk Cowboys. We are going to talk Mavs. We are going to talk about a major purchase decision, a power move that I made in my life involving giant TVs. We do have a news bender coming up, and there are two very topical things that we're going to talk about. But I can't figure out the way that these social media algorithms work anymore. So I call them algorithm fluffers. Every once in a while, I will just put up content on one of our social media platforms that is for the sole purpose of just trying to get interaction, because it's hard for us to connect with our listeners now, because the algorithms, if you're not talking politics, they won't even know that we're doing anything. And so that's why we have this newsletter. Thank you to everyone who's subscribed. You can go to benandskin.com. It's super easy to subscribe now, and we'll send you, this newsletter. We sent one out at 6 a.m. today. But I put up a post. I just saw on social media. I'm scrolling through social media, and I saw Rhumba pool.
So let me comment on that. I saw that too, and I didn't watch it. I am not your normal internet person. Those are things that I just fly through. I have to have someone specific. There's so much. This is the reason the algorithms are hard. There's just so much shit out there. I don't have time to stop on any of it. I have to have someone specifically go, listen, this is something you will actually like. Watch the Rhumba pool thing. So I saw a picture of it, and I saw like 1 second. I was like, I get it. Roomba's putting pool balls on. And what's next? Where's the sex? Where's the nudity? Where's the Mavs news? Feed that to me. Hurry. But yeah, those are the kind of videos that just go bonkers, and they're everywhere. It's a Roomba making pool shots, right?
So yeah, it's like the post was like, guys will gamble on anything. And I think it may have been, hey, you may have a gambling problem if you're gambling on this. It's just a pool table. You set up the pool balls just like a normal break, and then you put a Roomba robot vacuum on the pool table.
Okay, that's great. I'd gamble on that. That's fun.
And there's money all over the table, and it just moves and knocks in balls. And I guess you guess on which ball, who will win, or what balls get knocked in first. I don't know.
That's fun.
And I didn't create it. I just saw it. And when I was looking at it, to me, it looked like something that had been repurposed a million times or whatever. And so I just took a little clip from it, and I put NFL Films music behind it and posted it. And it got 2 million engagements on our Facebook page, the Ben and Skin Facebook page.
That's amazing, dude.
I don't know how anything works anymore.
Let's just film anything that happens and put NFL music behind it and put it on a Facebook group. I think that's what people want.
We're doing actual good shit here, and it's crickets. It's hard to let people know what we're doing. So
I'm not doing good shit today. I'm going to be honest with you.
Oh my God.
I took a reasonable shit earlier, but I personally am not doing good shit today.
I just want to say this. Thank you for interacting with this. Thank you for watching it. If you want this to survive and be a part of your routine, which we want it to be, and we want to grow it and get even bigger and bigger and bigger, anytime you see us, if you click the like button, if you put a comment, if you share it, all of that helps. Now, speaking of what a weird-ass world we're in, I know. I am tempted just to
shout out to Roderick.
I am so tempted to just put AI MILF GILF grandmas on our social media and then just like flash it up there. Like, here's some giant jugs. Now, here's what we really want to talk to you about.
What if we put little content scrolls on the face of a girl with giant jugs? So there's information on the face and then just giant jugs there. Like that gal that walks and her boobs bounce while she gives you betting tips.
Yes.
We need we need a smoke show super soaker intern, because we don't have an HR department. And so we just need a young gal that's ready to put it all out there on the internet, that wants to intern on our super soaker, and she can go fluff algorithms.
Okay. I challenge you right now to go to Instagram, hit the magnifying glass, and let's see what the algorithm's trying to show you.
Okay.
By the way, Slightly Biased just texted us and said, what time should we get there? Tonight, we'll tell you more about this, but today, the Ben and Skin Show, we're doing, go ahead and pull up your Instagram.
Okay.
We're doing our show on 97.1 The Eagle, 97.1 The Eagle from 3 to 5:30 at Rollertown Beer Works. But we'll be in Salina. The Frisco location is not ready yet. So we'll be in Salina today doing our show, basically 3 to 5:30. But it's not ending there. There's a Mavs game tonight at 6 o'clock. They play the Wizards, and it's a road game, and we're going to watch it at Rollertown. And the Locked On Mavs guys are going to be there, Slightly Biased and Nick Angstad. And the four of us are going to just do play-by-play in color for the game. We're going to turn the broadcast down, and us four idiots are just going to have fun. So tonight, or today, or both, come join us at Rollertown Beer Works in Salina. We've never done this, and I think it's going to be awesome.
I'm very, very excited about this, which is why as soon as the Super Soaker is over, I'm going to go back to bed and recharge my batteries. Let's see. Okay, hold it there. That's actually in focus. I see a redheaded gal with big jugs. She may be singing a Christmas song. It's mostly girls. You do have some Kobe Bryant stuff in there.
Costner.
Oh, yeah, Costner's at the top. What is that? What's that? Okay, there's also a big guy in a car that's about to do something. I don't know what that is.
Yeah.
Let's
see what you got.
It's almost all old records.
Yeah.
I don't know who that is in the top corner. I could click on it.
It's Mavs.
Dave Chappelle.
Oh, I know who that is. That's political.
Oh, it is?
Yeah.
Al Pacino, ironically saying, I'm never sober. Mostly records. There's George Michael down there in the corner.
100% was totally real the day that we were all prepping for our show on the Eagle, me, you, KT, and Christina. And I said, man, I think Instagram's broken, man. It's just showing me nothing but chicks with jugs. Same with you guys? And everybody was like, no. Christina's like, I get dogs and guitars. You're like, I get music.
You don't get vintage synthesizers, Ben?
Yeah.
I don't know why. I don't know how the internet's sending that to you.
So I like jugs. So what? Jugs are great. Jugs are one of the greatest things in the world. You learn early on how important they are to everything.
They sustain life for very small babies.
That's right. And then even old people, like if somebody's on their deathbed, if a guy was on his deathbed and at the very end, the last thing that happened to him, someone flashed him some incredible jugs, he would go, and die.
That's how he finishes his life.
Oh, yeah, that did sound. Okay, so Skin, I've got a topical story for you, and thank you. Look, we're already up to 554 people. Can we get to 10,000 in this? I don't know.
Can we get to 4th?
So please keep sharing the link, and keep inviting people. Let's keep growing this thing. Let's get it bigger and bigger and bigger. If you see it on social media, comment on it, hit the like button. All that helps. Okay. I'm going to do something here that we didn't talk about. We didn't say we were going to do it.
Well, we didn't really talk about much because I put us in a bad position by being hungover and sleeping.
Well,
whenever.
We don't even have a producer for this yet. We will eventually, and we're
why it's so good.
And we're just kind of winging it.
Yeah.
And we have busy lives, so this is just authentic, man. And so there's a story that I don't know if you saw this, but well, first let me get you to, if somebody's been living under a rock, Skin, explain to everyone who Tuah girl is.
She is she's Lainey Wilson without a singing voice. She is a girl that got famous because, first of all, she's about as hillbilly as it gets. She definitely sounds like she dropped out in 8th grade. And she was at a park or amusement park or, I don't know, some boardwalk. And some rando was, making content in the world. And he stumbled. And I don't know. I'm assuming this was spur of the moment. I don't think this was set up. But a guy was asking her questions. I can't remember. Was it about how to keep a man or something? Was that what it was? And she, just with no barriers and, wasn't concerned who was going to see it. She talked about how she gives fellatio. And the thing that took off was the sound she made when she spit on that thing.
You got to spit on that thing. Hot Tuah.
And by saying hot Tuah, she also implied that she's getting phlegm involved.
I know, it's weird. It's weird. Isn't it?
It's kind of like farmer snot.
Yeah,
so you've got to make that person famous. I mean,
so in this world that we live in, it went crazy viral.
Yeah.
And it was like, how do we find this person? Where are they in the world? And
what
now
else does she have?
She's got like the biggest. Yeah, exactly.
She's a well of content.
She has, because this is the earth you guys wanted for yourselves, and this is what we have. She's got a top 3 podcast in the universe now.
Badass.
Because she was spitting on things. And so
have you seen any of it besides her singing Concrete Jungle Wet Dream Tomato as Joel put up there?
I don't even know if that was her or just her being a guest. I don't know if it's her podcast.
She might have been doing that on Bill Maher. I'm not sure.
I've never watched it. I've never listened to it. Okay, Theory, pop up that picture. I saw this right as we were going to start the show today. Let me say something very callous.
Yes. I don't think this is the most attractive picture of her.
So, the Hawk Tuah girl launched a meme coin.
What?
Okay. I'm like Jerry Jones when they did the blockchain.com thing, and he goes, blockchain.com. Like, I'm like that. I'm the old guy. I don't understand Bitcoin. I don't understand any of that.
I don't have any, but I understand the concept of it loosely.
I mean,
but I don't own any personally.
It scares me, but I know really smart people and wealthy people who have done really well in it. It's one of those things where it's not my area of expertise, so I'm not going to put money, which is scarce for me, into it.
Yeah, no, I feel the same. I'm not knowledgeable. I mean, dude, Cuban's gotten into it. Elon Musk has gotten into it. Trump trashed it for years, and then when he got his own, he started saying it was awesome, and we need to not have regulations for it. So rich guys that control massive financial markets are manipulating it for their own benefit. That's what anything that you want to put faith in, collectibles, trading cards, actual cash, gold, whatever it is that you want to put faith in, it's going to retain value. You can do it. And that is what Bitcoin is. It's just a really strange thing where it's mined in this non-existent place, and then you need real world energy to mine it. It's wild. Is
meme coin the same as Bitcoin?
I would assume so. I don't know. This is the first I'm learning of it today.
Okay.
I briefly scanned it, and so what I briefly scanned leads me to believe it's like any other of these cryptocurrencies, Dogecoin, whatever you want to call it. There's tons of them.
The headline was, the Hawk Tuah girl launched a meme coin. Everybody lost their money. People want her thrown in jail. And if you look at people,
let me just ask: all female jail?
Her name is Haley Welch, and she had a post. I guess this was at 4:20 p.m. yesterday. 4:20.
Oh, this is gold. Purpose. Keep going. This is gold. I had to put this up.
And she was like, "Hawk is live." Okay,
Hawk coin.
Hawk coin. And it's so. Let's see. Hawk token insiders kept over 97% of the supply and are actively selling. Okay, warning. And so again, I don't know how any of this works. Somebody put copy and pasting Hawkonomics. Team hasn't sold one token and not one KOL was given one free token. We tried to stop snipers as best we could through the high fees in the start of launch. That was from her.
So she's saying someone broke through and bought up all of the available Hawk Tuah coin.
I guess so. I don't know how any of this works, but
like concert tickets.
How I don't know how this works, but if you're someone who has money, and money is scarce for all of us except Elon, and most of those guys even want more money, right? Even Cuban is looking for more money. People that are rich want even more. But if you have money that you hold near and dear to you, you're going to invest it in a meme coin over this hillbilly woman who spits on that thing in a loogie on that thing and went viral like instantly. You're like, yep, that's a sound investment. I'm putting my hard-earned. Oh my God, I lost my life savings. What are we doing?
I mean, I think like, and there's some really interesting stories about people, getting rich, on the onset of something, and then it comes back down and crashes later. And so I don't know. Do you remember when we were, shoot, I bet we were teenagers. Maybe we were in our early 20s when Beanie Babies, people thought that was an investment.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's really just the same thing. Everyone who doesn't, this is why people play. I mean, there's a lot of people that don't have enough money to, pay the rent and all that stuff, feed their kids, all that stuff, that will still go to the casino or still buy like I buy lottery tickets just cause, and I spend like $2 or $3. And that, if you look at the end of the year and that'd be good, man, that was a really dumb investment. I see people go in and buy like $50 of lottery tickets, and I'm like, oh my God, I don't even know. Like statistically speaking, you have not increased your odds of winning by spending an extra $45 or whatever. But it's that dream of, man, I want something to explode and make me rich. And I think people have seen enough stories where something did happen for people that I want to get in on this. And everyone can relate to a girl wandering a boardwalk at a carnival telling people that she wants to spit a loogie on that thing. I mean, who can relate to that and put value in it? That's good.
Take my money. Okay. Let's move on from that. But I will say that I thought the best comment was straight Tuah jail. So bam. I don't know how any of that stuff works. I don't know that there was anything criminal that happened. I just know I don't know shit about it, and that's the last thing I would ever bet on or put my money in. Another story that is one of the biggest stories in the world, which is scary and dark, is the United Healthcare CEO Brian Thompson, who was assassinated yesterday morning in front of a hotel, I believe, and it was all caught on a security camera. And because of this world we now live in with Twitter and the way social media works, it was just out there immediately for anyone and everyone to see. And I think we were immediately desensitized to it because it just looks like it's from a movie or something.
Right.
This guy is walking in a sports coat. Somebody walks up behind him. They're all decked out in black. They're holding a small caliber pistol with a silencer on it. And it's like, chink, 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 chink. And they just take him out. And there's been all of this talk and debate about it ever since it happened. The guy, the assassin, kills this. That's the assassin. Kills the CEO of one of the largest companies on earth. And immediately the conversation is, okay, was that a professional hit? Was it a company that, was it somebody, was he about to testify? Was he about to bring someone down? Was he eliminated because he was dangerous? Could it have been someone who has had an insurance claim denied? I started seeing all these statistics like that company denies more claims than anyone on earth, things like that. I don't know. I don't know the motivation. And immediately I saw this thing where they thought he got on a city bike, the assassin, to get away. And I saw just some guy on Twitter going, yeah, I scrape all of the city bike data. Only one person headed that direction on a city bike for the next 10 minutes, and they got off at this location. And it was just happening in real time. This guy was just sharing this information. And so I don't know, none of us really know anything about it yet, but it has been also fascinating to watch people that are super familiar with guns and are just volunteering information, and people that are like kind of talking about hits and stuff. And you're like, whoa, you're sharing a lot right now. But I saw these guys breaking it down, and they were like, look, that is not a professional, because the first shot, he's standing right behind a guy, and he shot him in his calf. And they were explaining how when you're holding a pistol, if you're not experienced, when you go for that first shot, you kind of shoot down. And so they indicated it was an inexperienced guy. And they were talking about how he wasn't super clean with the way he controlled the gun and all this stuff. And then I saw this is from a guy that I don't follow him, but I see every single tweet he has. For whatever reason, it's always
Elon Musk.
Yeah. His name is Colin Rugg.
Yeah. Colin Rugg shows up. He shows up on my timeline all the time.
He's a chosen one. Yeah. Like Elon has chosen him to be a deliverer of news. And he had this, And I have no idea who he works for, if he's credible. No
I don't
clue.
think he's legacy media, Ben. You can trust him.
He says the man who murdered United Healthcare CEO Brian Thompson inscribed the words deny, defend, and depose on the shell casings that were left at the scene.
Yeah.
The masked assassin is still on the run, yada, yada, yada. The inscription would be linked to a book written in 2010, which blasted the insurance business. Delay, deny, defend is the title of the book. Why insurance companies don't pay claims and what you can do about it is the subtitle. And so
ABC News reported that too. That's
Okay.
legit.
Okay, so pretty crazy. Like
It's a movie, dude.
It is a movie, but are we so desensitized to this now that we see death when we're on social media and like this is just this guy who we just watch get wiped out, assassinated, and we're immediately distanced from any emotion of that and just talking. It's a bizarre time on the planet.
No, that's a great point. And it's, I guess, when you get everything thrown at you and warp speed and you're trying to process everything all the time, if the first thing you don't process is, sadness or grief or something like that, then you do just suddenly go down an information wormhole. Like that's going to happen. Excuse me. I did see a thing this morning when I was just quickly trying to get caught up, and I forget what news agency it was talking to his widow, but she was like, hey, I'm sorry, I can't offer good information right now. I'm trying to console my kids. And that totally, that what you're talking about puts the picture back into the frame, the horrible humanity of it. And then also, like, what's the best way to say this? Because it's very complex. But if you are, no one deserves to be assassinated ever. Well, Hitler did. But like that world, and you've seen it, you saw it like when you were going through stuff with your mom. This is where it gets tricky. I'm pro capitalism. I think it's great. I think the privatization of medicine is tough. And I went through some serious medical stuff, and I'm really, really lucky that I had really good health care through iHeart. That was huge. That was huge for me. I mean, I still spent a decent amount of money, but I knew there was a listener that I had been talking to that just died. She had cancer and she didn't have health insurance. And I just watched her die. Like, we were staying in touch. And then one day her husband reached out to me and she was dead. And she didn't have the health care I had. Now, I'm not saying that if she had, she would have lived. I'm not suggesting that. But, there's a lot of people that are becoming enormously rich off of healthcare, and because it's a business, that deny part of it, there's a lot of people that we could save their lives that we don't because they can't afford our business product. And I mean, none of these things are easy. There's no clear-cut answer on all this stuff. If you've ever talked to a Canadian about their healthcare system, they don't love socialized healthcare either. And I know it's not as cut and dried as I'm making it out to be, but it feels like if we were reasonably empathetic towards all of us collectively, we could figure out a better solution to this to where it's not so stark and who has it and who doesn't. Way more people don't have it. And if something catastrophic happens to them, they're effed, man.
Yeah.
And so I saw that they're closing in on the suspect. And so I bet in the next 24 to 36 hours, we have his story. And while we wildly speculate, it's probably going to end up being what you and I are kind of leaning in on. He probably had a family member that got denied and he said, F it, I'm taking this down.
I saw where yesterday there was some announcement. And again, I don't know the way that we have so much information coming at us. I just see something, I read it, it's in my brain. I don't know if it's from a credible person. I don't know if it's real, but I saw this thing where some insurance companies are now only going to cover part of the anesthesia from procedures. If it goes beyond a certain time, they're like, nah, that was too long. We can't cover all that anesthesia. And I think about the insurance business. The story I always come back to is our friend Braun that we grew up with started a beach cart business.
Right.
What is that called? What is that area in
Port Aransas?
Right. Excuse me. In Port Aransas. And, it got hit by a hurricane. And I don't remember. Do you remember which hurricane it was? I don't.
Don't. It was we were still at the Fan, right? So
Well, he
Banny was still manager of the Rangers at that time period. I remember that.
So he starts this golf cart business. You can rent them in Port Aransas and drive them on the beach and drive them all over the small town. And he starts with a couple, and then pretty soon it's up to 100, and then it's a bar as well. And it's a really cool thing that he's got going. And he's always an entrepreneurial guy. He builds it from scratch, and he gets really big. And then it gets hit by a hurricane, and I'm like, dude, you have insurance, right? He's like, yeah, of course. I'm not an idiot. I have insurance. Well, then it came down to it that there was a clause in the contract. Everything's covered unless it's caused by a named storm.
I mean, how is that not disingenuous, and it's squeezing money out of people? What the bank will make you have insurance, and then the insurance you have doesn't even cover it? How is that legal? That is such a fucking scam. What is the point of insurance, of you paying for insurance, if it doesn't cover what it's supposed to cover? I went through a thing where somebody sold me insurance and on my roof on my house, and they go, oh yeah, well, we sold you insurance for a commercial multifamily dwelling. Why did you think I would want that? I'm buying a product from you and I'm leaning in on your expertise, and you deliberately sell me something I can't use? What the fuck is that? How is that even remotely legal? That shit, and it happens all the time. All the time. And you can see, like, I'm worked up now. I can see how someone who is mentally unstable can process something that's happened to them like that and do something horrible about it.
Yeah.
Like, and not justifying it at all.
Right.
That's not what I'm saying. But I'm saying, if you are a part of a system that fucks you over continually, are you just going to take it?
Yeah. So there was the other insurance stories that really come to mind for me was my kids suffer from something that you suffer from, and my wife does, vasovagal.
Mm-hmm.
Different things trigger it. You could pass out at different times, and it was really, you've been there when my wife has just passed out of nowhere.
Yeah.
And it's very scary, and there's it's not drinking or anything. It's just could be claustrophobia, could be your blood pressure gets down, could be there's many different triggers for it. But with her, we got used to it and we identified it. We went to the ER enough times that we're like, okay, we know what this is. She's going to be okay. This is vasovagal. She'll be fine in a second. But when it started happening to our kids, we didn't know that's what it was at first. And so it happened to my son. We were playing football in the backyard. He got super hot. We called an ambulance. They came and we're like, do we take him? Is this vasovagal? And, we let the ambulance take him. And it was like, after insurance, it was like $2,000 or $2,500 or something, right? And so my daughter then passed out at a funeral. And we're like, dude, and then she goes to the hospital, goes to the ER. Turns out that she was dehydrated. And that was $2,500, that ambulance ride. Right. And you're like, I
feel you, man. That's tough.
And so the weirdest one though was, so my wife, this is the one I've told the story before, where she had the flu and I was sleeping in this room that I'm in now, which used to be our guest bedroom. And she was in the master bedroom, and we were trying to keep her, the flu in there. Right.
Right.
And so we could still run our family, and I could go to work and all those things or whatever. And so we're sleeping in different rooms. And so she got up to go throw up, and for her, nausea induces her vasovagal and will cause her to pass out.
Right.
And she got up to go throw up and passed out. Now she once passed out when our son was in the hospital for asthma, and she landed on her teeth.
Ooh.
Like right in front of a nurse.
Ooh.
Like it just happens sometimes. She's just out. And so she passed out, and we have, those they're little tables that you can push up to a couch so you can have a drink or food while you're on the couch that doesn't have a coffee table or something.
Yeah.
And it's like covers cushions.
Yeah.
But it was solid metal with sharp edges, and she passed out into it.
Oh.
And hit her head in it. And she's laying on the ground bleeding. and I don't even know because I'm asleep in this room that a different part of the house.
You were watching porn.
And so she basically got up again and tried to go a few more steps to the bathroom to throw up and passed out again. So she bled from the head in multiple places while she also has, like 103 fever. Okay. She called me like 9 times and I slept through it. I had all these missed calls. It was so embarrassing, but I slept through it. And so I woke up to the police and firefighters being at this door and knocking on it. And they're like, and that was surreal. And they were like, excuse me, sir. And I'm like, oh, what is happening? And there's been an accident with your wife. And I was like, what? And I run back there and she's in there. And anyways, she's pretty funny. And she actually told them, she goes, this is dark. She goes, I should have said that you stormed out and you were staying in a different room because we got in a fight. And but anyways, so rushed to the hospital. We rushed to the hospital. We go to the ER. Her head is bleeding like crazy, and she's got 103-degree fever. It's the worst situation I've ever seen her in. And they would not treat her until the lady came over with the computer to verify my employment.
Right.
Like, we're sitting there in the ER for like 40 minutes and no one is helping her because they haven't confirmed whether or not I have insurance yet.
It's messed up, dude. It's so messed up. And I don't know what the solution is. Again, I'm not anti-capitalism guy. I mean, we own a business. I want it to do well. We work for a corporation. I want them to continue to stay in business. But I don't know what the answers to these complicated questions are.
Anyways, that is I agree. That's sad. Sorry to make you sad. We're just talking about these. Sorry about that. All right, let's have some fun now. We'll make it fun. All right, switching gears from the real world and having some fun. Let's talk Dallas Cowboys football, DFW. And we're not going to spend a ton of time on this, but essentially, Dak Prescott does an interview with Jory Epstein. Isn't that her name? Jory Epstein?
Yeah.
Great writer. And she's now with Yahoo, I think.
I think when she left, she went to USA Today, maybe.
Oh, maybe that's it.
Is that what it is?
I'm not sure, but she's great. And
yeah, she was around here for a long time.
And did a great job here. And what a huge get for her to do a video interview with Dak, and very nice of Dak to do that for her. And she asked great questions. And essentially, she was asking him about McCarthy and about McCarthy coming back. Now, there's been all sorts of rumors that Dak is not a huge fan of McCarthy's offense. They appear to have a pretty good relationship. I don't know if any of that's true, but that's what we've been hearing.
Last year was great for Dak under McCarthy's offense.
Great for him. Great for him. And so Dak fully endorses McCarthy in this interview and says, yes, I would, he deserves to come back. He's a Super Bowl winning coach. And he references something about him having more control or more say in football things. And so to me, it sounded like Dak was getting McCarthy's back, saying, yes, I want him to be the coach still, and he deserves to have more say in things. He doesn't have enough say. That's my interpretation of that. Did you see that too?
I mean, I didn't sit down and watch the interview, but I saw a lot of the clips going around.
Okay. The next day, and by the way, we could talk about any motivation for that. Now, maybe Dak does want McCarthy. Maybe Dak is just saying the right thing because that's what leaders do. Maybe Dak is saying that because he wants whoever the next coach is to have more say. Maybe he wants more say. There's a lot of different reasons that he could have been motivated to say that in that interview. The next day, McCarthy at his press conference is asked by John Machota, hey, you saw the interview with Dak. He was saying that maybe you deserve to have more say in things. And all of this is lining up to say, hey, the problem is not McCarthy. The problem is Jerry. The problem is the front office. The problem is they've missed on draft picks. They took the offseason off. They didn't give McCarthy enough to work with. And they go to McCarthy and they ask him about all that. And he says, I've never had more say in an organization. And so I've got all the control I've never had this much control. And almost discredits the alibi that Dak was trying to hand deliver to him. And I heard Kevin Hagelin talking about this, and he was like, Dude, that's your get out of jail free card. He just hooked you up and you said, no, 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 it's me. I'm 100% the problem. It's me. What do you make of that?
So I didn't hear what McCarthy said. My first instinct is that's ego. You know, that's like, no. As I've gotten older, I've exerted more influence. I'm Cowboys talk, still depressing. I don't know. I don't. There's a lot of things that McCarthy says that I don't understand. And it's unfair to say that that guy's not very smart. He might be a rocket scientist. I don't know. I know he doesn't articulate things in a way that makes him sound very smart to me. He sounds like a guy that, I mean, we've had him here 5 years. How long has he been here? He said a lot of stuff up there that I hear him saying. I'm like, God, man, that sounds so effing dumb. But they had 3 straight 12-win seasons, man. That's hard to do in this NFL. So you can't take that away from him. And there's been times, not this year, but there's been times where things were falling apart and he kept them together and they stayed together and got it back together and made the playoffs. So he deserves a lot more credit than I've given him. And I don't think Dak has any, unless he just likes the chaos of it all, which doesn't strike me as a Dak Prescott thing. He clearly wanted to go do that. Why? He doesn't have to grant interviews, right? He's the highest paid quarterback in football. He's hurt. He can go disappear if he wants to. He wanted to get that message out there. He must have had some reason, but that's funny, man. McCarthy's. I can't imagine. I mean, let me ask you this. I've been joking around saying they're going to go 10-7. Do you think if they go 10-7, McCarthy's back? Because it's possible.
I can't even believe where we are.
It's in the cards.
I can't even believe what's happening.
It's the NFL. Dude, they were trying to fire, what's his name, Sirianno in week 3, and now the Eagles are destroying. They're the second best team in the NFC.
I don't know the real reason why the Cowboys offense sucked. Now, is it because they thought they could, is it because they missed on Guyton? Is it the decline of our guy, Zach, who I love? Has he been trying to play hurt? Is it because they thought they could just run out a complete retread at the running back position and they didn't have a running game? Or is it, the receivers also are not getting open. So is the scheme tired? They're not getting separation. Is it innovative, creative enough? I don't know. It's hard to answer this because it's such a fucking steep fall off a cliff from what happened last year. Why? Going into the Green Bay game, life was fucking good for us. We were all eating. The offense was best in class. And all of a sudden, ever since then, we suck.
Why can't it be all of those things, Ben? Why can't it be CeeDee Lamb missing all of preseason and not having any connection with Dak? I think it's all of those things, Daddy. And that's why I've said this a million times. Like, one of the most astonishing thing to me in the world of sports is that many people being involved in that many things and on a consistent basis having 11 guys go out there on the field and consistently not have penalties and execute a play in real time as the clock is moving and doing it consistently. Like, it blows my mind. Those organizations that don't commit penalties, have everyone on the same page. I mean, the whole locker room thing, especially for something that big with that many different kinds of people doing specialized things and all being on the same page, is amazing to me and awesome. And so coaches that have consistent success like that, I'm in awe of them. You have to have the right kind of guys. You got to identify the right kind of guys. But, man, there's so many different people in that room that all have different agendas in their personal lives. And to get everybody to come together, that blows my mind. I think that's incredible stuff. And so if you have coaches that have done it consistently, I understand the retread idea. I'm not for it, but I understand what's appealing about it because it is so hard to get professional football to work consistently at a high level. It's amazing.
I got another theory for you on why Dak may have gone to bat for McCarthy. Okay.
Let's hear it.
What if he is hearing who Jerry is leaning towards and is like, holy shit, no.
Oh, that's good. I like that theory.
What if Dak is like, Jerry has heard or talked to Jerry and he's like leaning towards Dion or Jason Witten or Belichick or somebody that Dak is like, oh no, what's over there is not better than what we have. Like, I don't love what we have, but it's better than that. I mean, that could be it too.
No, that's a good theory. I like that. I hadn't thought about that, but that's next level chess. And when you're ready to play next level chess, you reach out to Jory Epstein.
Okay, so I want people to leave this in the comments. If McCarthy, how should we say this?
Say it.
If McCarthy comes back next year, are you okay with that? And if not, who do you want? Who do you want instead of McCarthy? And I want to see these comments. Like, look here, immediately there is love for Kellen Moore. And that is, I don't know why that went astray. I mean, they were good under Kellen Moore for a little bit. They were better when Kellen Moore left.
There was a ton of talk that Dak was very upset that Kellen Moore was leaving. Remember all that?
Yeah. But he wouldn't double down on McCarthy if he thought he could get Kellen back. So maybe Jerry wouldn't let Kellen come back. But I don't know. Maybe he would, because if you divorce McCarthy, you can get back into having Kellen Moore. I don't know. But it's all, Jerry loves all that. Jerry loves people talking about, is Felix Hernandez the guy that you're talking about that always hates Cowboys talk? I don't know. Is he here? Is he in there?
Yeah, he just said something about I don't care. Dude,
Felix, are you the guy who hates Cowboy talk? Are you the guy who gets on here all the time and says we need? Okay, let's switch gears real quick to a little Dallas Mavericks basketball. You do need some rest because you have a big day ahead of you. We're going to go do our show from Rollertown from 3 to 5:30. The Mavs play the Wizards. It starts at 6. And you have important broadcasting responsibilities tonight. Maybe the most important broadcasting responsibilities you've ever had.
Yep.
And it's not on TV. It's not on the radio. It's only for patrons of Rollertown. We're going to turn the sound down tonight. And you and I are going to do color and play-by-play for this game with our friends from Locked On Mavs. Nick Angstadt and Slightly Biased will both be there. So the four of us are going to entertain the crowd while we all have beverages and watch the Mavericks beat the Wizards.
Yeah, that's going to be really fun. I got to spend the next couple hours sleeping and hydrating simultaneously. But this is not going to be streamed or put out on the internet. This is just in person. And we'll have the sound of us up, sound of the Mavs game down. And if you want to come out and hang out, drink some beers, eat some burgers from Mueller Wagyu beef, and hang out with your boys and hear a wild ass in-room broadcast, narrowcast, I guess I should say. Come on out and join us. We're doing the show starting at 3 o'clock. It is going to be really fun. KT and Christina are going to be there too. A lot of remotes Christina doesn't go out to, so we're really lucky to have her. And I have secured a pair of Maverick tickets in December that we are going to give away raffle styles, but you have to be there in person to win those bad boys.
Yes, very nice. And I'll have some Ben and Skin YouTube shirts and stickers. Excuse me. God, I need a cough button. But we ran out of the small sizes quickly. It's like you let a big fat guy order the shirts, he's going to get all big sizes. We ran out of the normal size shirts so quick. Like no mediums and no larges. And we've got an order into Gordy to get some more of those. I was hoping to get those today. I don't know if we will, but I need to hear from the big boys. If you are a 3X, if you wear a 3X and you want a Ben and Skin YouTube shirt, I'll just mail you one. So just holler at me on it. But you got to prove that you're subscribed to our YouTube channel and to the newsletter. And if you do those two things, Daddy, both those things, then we'll get you hooked up there. And then we also do this. We also do a Mavs. I don't even know do you call it a podcast? What do you call it?
Yeah, poor spacing.
Poor spacing. It's on the Mavs YouTube channel. It's like a TV show is what I would have used to have called it. But it's on the Mavs YouTube channel, the official Dallas Mavericks YouTube channel. It's called Poor Spacing. It comes out Wednesday nights at 6. We just had a new episode drop yesterday. So if you want to hear us pontificate on all things Mavericks, you can go listen to that. But today, we will be broadcasting at Rollertown Beer Works in Salina. We'll do the Mavs game there afterwards with the Locked On Mavs guys, so come hang out with us there. Enjoy that Mavs game. And then tomorrow, the Ben and Skin Show We'll broadcast live from the Choctaw Casino and Resort in Durant, Oklahoma. We'll do that from 3 to 6 to get you going into the weekend. Anything else Mavs related you want to say before we move on?
No, it's a good little stretch, man. That game on Tuesday in Oklahoma City is going to be huge. They have a chance to get 2 road wins and just add on to this incredible time.
I like this from John Lindstrom, our buddy. He says that Nico interview was golden. That's a perfect example. We've interviewed Kyrie on Poor Spacing. We've interviewed Nico, and it's all been a lot of fun. We got more of those coming your way. Guilty is charged. Look at this. This is good. Right now, it's time for this.
It's weird and wild. Let's see what's coming down the wire in the News Bender with pedestrian news fella, strip mall Steve Shackelford.
Oh,
Steve!
lots of news. Hello, Ben.
Hey.
Hello, Jeff Skin Wade.
Hey.
Look at that gas station hat you have on.
It's leopard print or cheetah print. It goes
Sexy.
with everything and nothing. That's why
Hey.
you get it.
You were getting a lot of love earlier on the Super Soaker as we were talking about many of your great songs, but with regard to the countdown, what was your strategy?
Sure. So when I got the request for the countdown, as you recall, Ben, I did not know vocals were required because we had the Skylark song up front initially. So I was like, all right, cool. I'll try to do a funky thing. Let's get into my funk mode, pull out the guitar that I rarely do. And then you said, hey, it's missing your vocals. And I'll tell you, I had nothing. I had nothing.
It's missing 5 minutes of vocals.
Exactly. I was like, okay, I got it. I was like, so I'm going to need to come up with one hook. I was like, what would Quincy Jones or MJ do here? And I was like, if you think you're ready, ooh, you're not ready. Ooh, counting down to a world unknown. So I just went that route with it. I was like, we're just going to loop that, and then we're just going to start pulling stuff out, and then I'm just going to talk over it. And I had no script. I was just thinking about what I had for breakfast, thinking about what I was hungry for at the moment, and then just kind of watching the countdown timer.
Did you have a plan for the character to start panicking at the end, or was that improvised?
It just kind of came up as
Oh,
I
it's
was
gold.
getting through the track, and I was like, all right, raise the pitch here and start freaking out. Because, no real script on it, but counting down is a very intense feeling. That's the thing, I'd never built a countdown song before, so even timing stuff out, you're like, all right, I got to get my BPM at a certain rate to get it right around 4 minutes here. It's got to have all this stuff in it. Counting down, it's a very high-pressure situation.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, it's magical.
Well done.
Speaking of high-pressured situations, good news for lovers of cream-colored liquids. A supermarket has launched drinkable mayonnaise that you can sip through a straw.
That is effing disgusting. That is the most gag-inducing thing you could tell me. Drinkable mayonnaise. Oh, that's gross.
Yeah, and I'm a fan of mayonnaise. Like, what is the sandwich joint that we always talk about that has all the giant Hellman's cans there?
Jimmy
Jimmy
John's.
John's, yeah. Steve
Yeah.
used to work there.
I did.
Why are they so well stocked on mayonnaise there, Steve?
Well, they only have one purveyor for every single product, and they make you get the giant vats of Hellman's, and they make you stack them where you can see them. But everything, one purveyor. Only Sara Lee meats, only Hellman's mayonnaise. Yeah, the vegetables are local. Don't worry about that.
Okay, there's a lot of weird things happening in this. The AI loves briefcases still. You see that there. Drinkable mayonnaise is one of the most disgusting things of all time for sure.
Ugh.
They've incorporated eggs, which are weird. There's one like egg in a cup that's like made. It's ready to eat. I don't forgot what kind of type of egg that is. How that's made. I do like the plate of bacon. There is an uncooked egg on that plate of bacon. A couple cheeseburgers, definitely over mayoed, even for my likings. My liking, but also, is that a grapefruit? Is that a massive orange? And then there's 2 giant glasses of orange juice in the mix there too.
Yeah, man, I'd like to go back and forth from orange juice and drinkable mayonnaise. You know what? I wouldn't mind watching that particular gal drink some drinkable mayonnaise out of a Super Soaker cannon.
Ooh.
I do like her form. It's making it easier to deal with.
The cheekbones look like they've got a lot of work. And I don't mean plastic surgery. I mean like reps.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's engulfing it.
She's ready.
Yeah.
She is ready. And she's able to, like, double fist the mayonnaise thing and the orange juice with just the pinky finger there. It's really impressive.
Is that a fake banana there?
What is it? No, the banana's drinking the mayonnaise, it looks like.
Yeah.
And she's just wearing like a white man's blue business shirt.
Yeah.
If you add briefcase to the prompt, it screws it all up. Sorry.
It's a starched blouse. Do more.
I will do more. All right. There's some big news in the world of AI-powered death clocks. We've now got one. I said clock with an L. We've now got one that will predict the exact day you'll die.
Oh.
Apparently, you can go to the Google Store or Apple Store and just download the Death Clock app. And you put in some choices you regularly make. I put it in there. I put in all my life choices, and it said I'm already dead. So I don't know if it works 100%, but when you put in the answers, it will give you some pointers on how to extend your life. So if you say they eat Taco Bell every night, they may say cut that out. But they'll predict when you're going to die.
So they predict when the Ron Burgundy crew is going to die, huh?
Yeah. Look at the old school slacks. They're so tight in the crotch.
Damn, that's a nice crotch.
Bell bottoms. She's sassy too, man. Look at her. She's hanging out with the boys. One guy has 2 briefcases.
Yeah, and he won't let those other 3 guys have it.
And I think they're saying that, I don't know, that popcorn and pancakes are going to cause your death.
I think so. Yeah, bad diet decisions. Does that guy have 2 collars on that middle suit? It's a double under-popped collar with then another lapel. I don't know.
That's a good crew, man. Are those white shoes that man's wearing?
Yes, Clark Griswold.
All right. And in other news, in
Colin
Utah,
Farrell.
Yeah, there he is. A man apparently set a forest completely ablaze, burned 60 acres of it after he tried to light a spider on fire. The man has now been arrested on suspicion of reckless burning and possession of marijuana after police discovered a jar of pot in his belongings.
Oh.
Bummer.
Man, when you get high and start a forest fire, that is a bad way to spend a weekend.
It is. But he's got strong shoe game. Look at that sweatsuit. It's like the shirt matches the sweatpants, and they're tucked into his socks with some sweet Nikes, but then the jacket is like kind of matches, but it's not really a part of the whole thing.
You know, the other thing, too, is his running style is backwards. Like, you know, think when you run, you pump with the leg, you know, it's like the old marionette thing where they teach you in basketball, the string is attached, you know, from the elbow to the knee. He runs the opposite way. Like he pumps his arm backwards as he surges his leg forward. That is a really strange way to run.
And usually somebody with a lifestyle that necessitates so much casual wear, they don't really have documents and briefcases that they have to get somewhere.
High-end Rolex on his wrist as well. I was like, oh, this guy's really, really sporting it.
Okay, shout out to Israel over there who says, what's in the briefcase? That does kind of look like Brad Pitt to me. And he is going to be yelling, what's in the box?
What's in the box? Yeah.
Absolutely. All right, and some other news here that's a quickie one. New Mexico a New Mexico man has been awarded a $412 million payout over botched penile injections.
Oh.
Yeah, this is a national record-setting case. Apparently, a man, 66, visited a Mayo Clinic in 2017, just had some fatigue and weight loss. They misdiagnosed him and pumped his peen full of goodies. And apparently, it caused some deformities, and now he got $412 million for it.
God. Okay, I'd get rid of my peen for $412 million.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
I don't need that thing.
I'd gnaw it off.
I think I'd do it for like $5,000.
Yeah.
Is this a scene from a Wes Anderson movie?
It does have a very Kumar coded doctor over there
Right.
for some reason.
That doctor too, like he's counting money, but
Sunglasses.
but it's like with sunglasses, but he's not counting all the other money. Why is it so? He's so deliberate about counting just what he's holding.
I think he's one of those guys that just got a hold of those conspiracy books that have you look at the pyramid on the back of the bill and shows you the Illuminati eye and all that stuff.
Yeah.
He just discovered that. Oh, so wait, he's sitting down. I just noticed that. And the other guy looks like he's standing, or is he sitting on a stool?
Yeah, he must be on a stool.
Or he's very short.
And it's it rarely do you see like these things tied together, especially in a doctor's office, like actual penile organs in the back and sausages and eggplants together.
Yeah.
Yeah, lots of hanging brain back there, too.
Yeah.
All right, there's no more news. Go away, Steve.
There's tons more.
Nope, go away. God, he's the best.
He's the best.
I can't believe that you always want to get rid of him.
I wanted to hear more news. I think he might have had more.
I don't like news.
All right, so that's going to do it for today's Super Soaker. Do us a favor. Help us grow the show. Tell your friends. Sign up for the Ben and Skin newsletter. Go to benandskin.com. Enter your email address. That way we can email you. If you see our posts out and about, do us a favor. Like them, retweet, leave comments. Let's fluff those algorithms and invite your friends to come be a part of this. And don't forget, today we're doing our show live on 97.1 The Eagle from Rollertown, our brewery in Salina. So we'll be there. KT and Christina will be there. We'll be there from 3 to 5:30. And we'll turn it over to the Mavs pregame show. And then at 6 o'clock, when the Mavs game against the Wizards starts, we're going to turn the sound down on all the TVs. We are going to watch the Mavs beat the Wizards. But myself, Skin, Nick Angstadt, and Slightly Biased are going to do color and play-by-play for that game while we have an absolute Mavs party. And you got some stuff to give away?
Yeah, we've got several pieces of Mav gear, City Edition stuff, and we also have a pair of Mav tickets. So when you come up, we'll do a little raffle style, get you signed up. You got to make sure to let us know that you are subscribed to that Ben and Skin newsletter and you are eligible. And if you've won something in the past, you're still eligible to win because we're doing this raffle style. There's no, hey, I won before. Am I eligible? Nope. As long as you're signed up, we'll pull, we'll get the names, we'll pull them out and do the winner that way. So everybody can come and have a chance to win.
Yep. There you have it. We out of here. Peace.
This has been another Iron Balls production.
Iron Balls!